Target Trading Academy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Preston Vogl here with today's Micros Market Recap. Let's get right into it. It is Monday, just before the close here, the 6th, 3:57 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's start off with micro oil. So oil, we opened inside of its very large range from Friday, had initial resistance at that HVA edge that was drawn, yes, the night before. Well, actually, in this case, because it's Monday, it was drawn Saturday morning, and you can see it has just been going straight up, ignoring any resistance that we had drawn and only hitting the supports that we have here. And that's very, very bullish indicator right there. So we are, without having to really go into it much, we are finishing net positive in oil. As far as gold goes, we did open gap up. That close was right there, and it took forever just to get to it. It was a slow grinding day, and that's pretty much how it was in all the other markets, although we did have some more range in the equities. But with that being said, we are finishing, technically because it closes at 130, pretty much the same level, if not slightly higher or slightly lower than the day's prior close, or I should say Friday's close. As far as our equities go, they ES and the NASDAQ, or micro ES and NASDAQ, opened gap up. Had some initial run down, but for the most part, it was buying before lunch. You can see the resistance at that HVA level. Remember, these levels are drawn the night before. Eventually, the sellers finally stepped in. It was very slow, you can see, that morning, and that's lunch right there. Not very much movement it took. And then they came back, had that round trip, meaning they surpassed those lows, and you can see the consolidation that occurred from that 1 or 2 o'clock area on and on. It just hasn't made much headway. And I speculate that they're just waiting for the Powell announcements that he's got coming tomorrow and Wednesday. I could be wrong. It happens. But that I'm speculating that because that's usually when we get a lot of volatility in the markets. And it's a Monday. Mondays are generally slow anyways. Similar story in the NASDAQ, especially with that consolidation that we're seeing right now. A little bit more range. That's usual for the NASDAQ, though. Unlike the ES, we had initial buying instead of selling. So we hit that edge once, and it broke it. The second time, third time it held again. Fourth time it broke. And then you can just see they finally the buyers took control, hit that edge once, twice, 3 times. They fought it. And then much like the ES, after they've peaked out just before lunch, they start heading down. And then they had that same round trip, overtaking those lows and coming back down here to set new ones. And it was a slow. They did get their close finally. It only took all day, but they finally came back to that close, getting into balance. And that's pretty much where we're ending. So it's difficult to say if we're going to be closing net positive or negative in the equities. If we close right now, for all intents and purposes, we are down by, a fraction of a percentage. So not very much movement in the equities. Very choppy, but quite a decent day. I'll give you that, especially from the overnight on. For a Monday, at least, that's pretty decent. If you haven't seen any of our winner losers break even video, go check them out. I just did the one for today as I was filling in for Pat, and it was quite astonishing how well today worked out for how slow and choppy it was. But again, we see this time and time again. Not every day is the same. Obviously, some days are far worse than others. But it was surprising to see that on Monday did so well. Again, if you are interested in these levels and learning the methodology, feel free to reach out to us. You can find us on Facebook or go to our website at targettrading.co. Again, that is targettrading.co. We'll see you there.